Yes, I'm aware that I haven't posted in over a year, and yes, I'm aware that this review is late.
What?
Before I get started, I would just like to mention that hopefully later this week or the next week, I will be posting a channel update. In that channel update, I will lay out my plans for the channel in the future, better quality videos, and I will lay out a regular posting schedule. I don't know what that posting schedule is going to look like. Probably at least once a month, plus whatever else I can do, but definitely at least once a month. But anyways, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I post the video. So with that said, let's get into the spoiler-free review. I would like to start out by saying Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 was awesome. If you want my recommendation on if you should watch it, the answer is yes. Star Wars The Clone Wars is probably one of my favorite TV series out there, and I would even put it above The Mandalorian. I would also like to say that Season 7 was probably my favorite out of all 7 series of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Now, Season 7 was split into 3 story arcs: the Bad Batch arc, the Ahsoka Tano arc, and the Siege of Mandalore arc. I will first review all 3 arcs from my least favorite to my favorite, then I will review the season overall. I would like to start off by talking about my least favorite of the 3 arcs, the Ahsoka Tano arc. Now, I would like to start off by saying I by no means dislike this arc. This arc was amazing. I loved it. I just didn't like it as much as the other 2. And you may disagree with that, and there are people that will disagree with that, but that's just my opinion. I just didn't like this one as much as the other 2, but with that said, I did like it. Seeing Ahsoka trying to adapt to life outside the Jedi Temple was fun and interesting, and so were the characters that were introduced to us in this arc. And I would also like to say I am not dissing on the character Ahsoka. Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters, but this arc just didn't seem to have the flow that the other 2 did. It felt less like an arc and more like 4 separate episodes. And you may love that, but it just doesn't float my boat as well as the other 2 arcs do. Next, I would like to talk about the Bad Batch arc. The Bad Batch is a squad of clones that have desirable mutations to enhance their performance. A good example would be Wrecker, who essentially has super strength. The Bad Batch team up with Captain Rex and Cody to infiltrate a separatist base and destroy a weapon that predicts the clones' every move. The reason I like this arc better than the Ahsoka Tano arc is because it feels more like an arc than 4 separate episodes. And I'm not saying that the Ahsoka Tano arc doesn't, it just doesn't do it as well as this arc does. And seeing the Bad Batch and how they see other clones and how the Bad Batch work well together, but the Bad Batch and Captain Rex and Cody don't work well together was really interesting and fun. I think it was a really great way to start off the 7th and final season of the Clone Wars. I also want to mention that I made some predictions when I made my review slash breakdown of the 7th season of Star Wars The Clone Wars trailer way back when. And if you want to watch that video and just listen to me stuttering through the video trying to make my point, well, I'll link it down in the description and up here in the top right corner. But I will warn you, some of the stuff I predicted in that video, the Bad Batch arc fulfilled and came true. So I guess there technically are spoilers in that video. You have been warned. Now, the last and my favorite arc was the Siege of Mandalore arc. You know how I said the Ahsoka Tano arc didn't really feel like a connected arc, but then the Bad Batch arc did a better job of connecting it? Well, the Siege of Mandalore arc, I think out of the 3 of them, has the best flow and the best overall character development. Seeing how Bo-Katan, Maul, Ahsoka Tano, and Rex have all changed was really awesome. And again, this arc just had a good flow to it. It always kept you on your toes, guessing what was gonna happen next, and it felt synchronized. It felt like Star Wars. It felt right. And for that reason, I would have to say that this is my number one favorite arc of Season 7, and maybe all of Star Wars The Clone Wars in general. Now, wrapping up this review, I'd like to talk about the season and how it did overall. I don't have much to say here. Like I said earlier in this video, this is my favorite season out of all the Star Wars, the Clone Wars seasons. I mean, the season was amazing. It was awesome and it just felt right. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this. But what do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What was your favorite arc? Or maybe you haven't watched it and you're going to, or maybe you haven't watched it and you won't. Why don't you tell me all that down below in the comment section below? And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.